Welcome back to Cindy B's Art. It's been quite some time since I posted a video, so today I plan on showing you how to crochet a baby Yoda. Now let me preface by saying I am by no means a professional crocheter. I've just taken it up within the last year, but I enjoy doing it and I developed a pattern to make a little baby Yoda, so I want to share it with you today. Okay, so here's the tools that we're going to need for today's project. Of course, we're going to need yarn. Now, any yarn will do, but today I am going to be using Loops and Threads Demi Pearl for his head and Bernat blanket yarn for his body. I'm going to be using a 7mm crochet hook. I'll need a stitch marker, some safety eyes, and scissors. We will also need stuffing to stuff his body with. We will be starting with a magic circle. So I will go over it quickly, but there are lots of tutorials on how to do the magic circle on the internet. So basically what I do is I take my 2 fingers and I hold the yarn there. I cross over as an X and I bring it like that. Then I turn my fingers, I bring my hook in, pull through, and then I yarn under there and pull through. And that's my magic circle. So now what we're going to do in the magic circle, we're going to crochet 6 around the magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 'Make sure you're going around that tail as well, because that's what you're going to use to tighten it with. So 3, and then I'll pull the tail a little bit so I don't lose it. Then 4, 5, and 6. So that's 6 around the magic circle. And then just pull that tight. And that's what you're left with. So now from here, we're going to single crochet twice in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we will single crochet once, and we're going to yarn under. You can yarn over if you like, or yarn under. I always yarn under when I'm doing amigurumi. So that's 1. Now I will place my stitch marker in the first stitch so I know where I am. And we're going to do a second stitch, a second single crochet in that first stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around. So that's the first stitch. That's 2 in the second stitch. That's 1. 2 in the third stitch. 1, 2, 2 in the fourth stitch. 1, 2, 2 in the fifth stitch. 1, 2, 2 in the sixth stitch. Now that leaves us with 12 around. What we're going to do for the third row, we're just going to single crochet around. So 1, and then we'll mark the first one with our stitch marker so when we know when we get back to it. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we can see it's starting to come together now. So we're going to do one more round. Of 12 here. Like I said, I am a new crocheter, so I am fairly slow. If you find my instructions too slow, you can speed it up. If you find I'm going a little too fast, you can slow it down or pause the video, whatever works for you. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that is basically our head. So what we are going to do, we're going to cut the yarn, leave enough so that you're going to do an invisible stitch. So I'll try to explain that. So cut the yarn. What we're going to do, we're going to pull through that first stitch, but we're not going to tighten it. So we've pulled it through, we're not going to tighten it. We're going to skip over the stitch with a stitch marker in it, and we're going to put our crochet hook through the one right after it. Yarn over your crochet hook, pull it through that stitch. Once you've gotten it pulled through, you're going to take your crochet hook and the loop that was just on your hook before we started this, you're going to bring your crochet hook through there. You're going to grab your yarn over, and you're going to bring it down. So that basically makes it look like another stitch there. So what I always do after I'm done this, I will pick a stitch somewhere inside that I can get my hook through. I'll pull my yarn through it, and then I'll just fasten it off into a knot. So anything that I can get my hook through, doesn't really matter, just to fasten it off so that it's not just dangling there and loose. If you have to turn it inside out to find a stitch, there we go. There's one right there. I'll take my yarn, pull it through, leave it on the hook, pull it through again, and then I've just knotted it off. Now we can flip it back the right way. So there's the head part done. Now we're going to add the body on. Okay, so I've removed the stitch marker because we can pretty much tell where our join was because you can see it sticks up a little bit, but that's okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to just make a slip knot into the body colored yarn. Once we've got that slip knot, we're going to take our hoop and we're going to turn the head upside down, and we're going to come from the bottom, and on the outside loop only of the stitch, we're going to put the slip knot on our crochet hook. We're going to pull it through, and then we're going to finish that stitch there. So we're going to crochet all the way around in all 12 stitches, outside loop only. So we got 1, 2, outside loop only. Remember, outside loop only. So just that front loop. 2, 3, and we're going to do that all the way around until we get back to the first stitch, and I'll rejoin you there. Okay, so we're coming up on the end here. So I've got 2 more to go. So 1, last one. Remember, outside loop only. And I always will go back into that first one I started in, and I'll put another one in there. So what we're basically making right now is his collar. So the little collar on his jacket. And so you could either cut this, tie this off, and cut this if you want. What I tend to do is I'll take my hoop and pull it up a little bit, and I will bring my stitch under, or my crochet hook under here, and just pull that loop through. So I don't need to cut the yarn. So now I've taken my yarn from the outside to the inside. It shows a little bump, but it's in the back. So if you don't like that, just cut it, tie it off, and then start again. So basically now what we're going to do, we're going to work in the inside hoop. So we just worked in the outside hoop. Now we're going to work in the inside loop all the way around. So you can flip it to make it a little bit easier. So I pulled mine through. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. And your yarn is just going to come over this way. So then you find your inside loop. So there should be 12 inside loop now. So our first one is right here. So we're going to go there. So that's our first one. And then there's our second one. Depending on the type of yarn you're using, some are easier to see than others, some aren't. There's our third one. We're going to go all the way around until we get to the start again. So I will meet you back when we get back to the start. Okay, so we're done the collar here. So we've pulled it through. So now what we're going to do, we're going to crochet around, and we're going to just crochet in the inside stitch now. So we crocheted the collar in the outside stitch. So we're going to crochet a row around now on the inside stitches. And that's going to be for his jacket or sweater or whatever it's called. Okay, so we're just going to crochet around on use just in the inside stitches, and I will meet you back around. Okay, we're getting back to the beginning here. I think I've got one more stitch left, and then we're at the beginning again. So now we're going to do another round. So basically what we're going to do 2 more rounds. Once you've got your 2 more rounds done, I'm going to do them off camera. We'll do 2 more rounds, and then we'll get the eyes in, and we'll get it closed up at the bottom and get it all stuffed. So meet me back here after we're done 2 more rounds. Okay, we're just finishing up this round here. So last stitch. Okay, so now we're going to put the safety eyes on. I forgot, and I did it off camera. I apologize. So basically what you're just going to do, that's your back. This is your front. So just put the eyes in, see where you like them. Once you get them in a spot you like, you might want them closer together, further apart, higher up, lower down. When you find a spot you like, just put the backs on them, and there they are. Okay, so we are done his head and his body, and now we're going to stuff him. So you're going to stuff him up. So stuff him up good, as much or as little stuffing as you want to put inside of him. It's completely up to you. It's your baby Yoda. You make it how you want it. Put a little bit more in there. You're still going to have to stitch up the bottom, so just make sure that you have enough room to get your crochet hook in there so that you can stitch. I'll take that out. That's good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're basically, okay, so we've got it all stuffed up right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to decrease now. So you're going to want to do 6 decreases around because we have 12 stitches. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and go into the inside loop. So inside hoop, pull your yarn through. Can be a little tricky, but You need to hold it to get it through. Do what you got to do. See, get it through. And there you go. So there's one decrease. So again, inside hoop, inside loop. I'm sure there's an easier way. Like I said, I'm a fairly new crocheter, so three. And the last two. There's one. Okay, so now you've gone around, so you should have 6 stitches left. So what we're going to do here, we're going to cut this off. Leave enough so that we can close it up. Okay, so now that we've cut that, we're just going to go through and we're going to try and find the outside loop. If not, if you pull it through both, it's not a big deal. Of each of the 6 stitches we just did. This is each of the 6 decreases we just did. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You still have a tiny little gap left if you want to add more stuffing. This is about the last time. Well, this is the last time you can add anything to it. I'm going to try and add a little bit into there because I feel mine needs a little bit more in the butt. There we go. Added some more. There we are. So now that we've got those through all the outside hoops, basically what I do, I hold it like that. I pull it and it just tightens it right up and closes it right up. If you pull too tight, you're going to break your yarn like that. So be careful. Don't pull too hard. But mine's all tight. It's fine. So I can take my crochet hook, find any little hole in the side, bring it out right where that little nub is, pull that through, and he's inside there. So that's gone. We can do the same with this piece of yarn that's just hanging there. Stick it in anywhere, bring it out right by there, pull it through. You can just cut that off and stick her back in. There we go. So now we have no more loose ends. Okay, so we have his head and his body is done. Now we just need to do his ears and his arms. Okay, now it's time to make his ears. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a slip stitch. We're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now not the first, so the first loop, we're going to do a slip stitch in it. The second loop, we're going to single crochet. And the third, we're going to do a half double crochet. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And what we're going to do here after that, we're going to cut our yarn. I've already cut mine. And we're just going to finish it off. So now we have 1 ear. So now we're going to make a second one of those. So I'm going to do that one off camera and we'll come back and we'll put the ears on our Yoda. Okay, I've got my second one made now. So basically, take them, position them, see how you like them, see where you want them, and you can put them wherever you want. And how I do it might not be the right way. You can do it however you like. What I'll do, I'll take my crochet hook and I'll put it in. So I'll position it where I like it. I want it through this stitch and this stitch. So I'll take my crochet hook, bring it through, and then I will grab one of the loose ends, one of the tails. Then I'll take the other one. I'll put it through. Bring it through. So I have them both coming out the same hole. And what I like to do, because I want to tie them, so they're both coming out the same hole, and I don't like having that little bit of gap in there. So I will take my crochet hook, I'll put it through the ear right at the bottom, get the one piece of yarn, one of the pieces of yarn, bring it through to the other side, put that around it, bring it through to the other side from the bottom. Now I'm bringing it now back through the ear, so it's kind of holding the ear in place a little bit. So when I brought it to the other side, I brought it below the ear. When I brought it back, I went through the ear. There's no exact location you have to do it. And then when I've done that, I'm just going to tie it on. I usually do a couple knots. And then we'll put the other ear on. So I like them about there. Crochet hook in here, through there. Bring down the yarn. Same with the other side. In there, out there. Bring through the other tail. Then I want to tie them in a knot, so I need to have them on the other side. So what I'll do, I'll lift this, I'll bring one through just below, so I'm not through a stitch or anything like that. I'm just at the bottom of it. So I'm going to bring one piece of the end through, and then the other one, I'm going to just find a spot at the bottom of the ear, go through it, and bring the other piece through there. Got it through there. Now I'll tie them off. And there we go. He has his two ears. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter. Bring my crochet hook in through the back, out here, right beside where they're tied off, and bring those pieces of yarn into the back of his head. Pull them out there. Do the same with the other side. Crochet hook in. Come out right by where they're tied off. Bring them through, out there. Then I will cut these. As close as I can, but without cutting the rest of the yarn. And then just stuff that back in. Stuff the little end back in. There we go. The ends are stuffed back in. So there he is. So he's got his two little ears. Now you can leave it like that if you like it like that, but I always add two arms to him. The way I do the arms. So what I do, slip knot, leave yourself enough of a tail because we got to tie it. And I always tend to leave it way too short. So we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do a bobble stitch. So we're going to yarn over into the first loop, one, yarn over into that same loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over into that same loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 on our hook, yarn over into that same loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, pull through all of those. And then what I do, I'll cut it off here. And I'll bring it through there. Just pull on it a bit, and there's one of his arms. I'll do the second one on camera again. So we do a slip stitch, chain 2, chain 1, chain 2. Now into this loop here, we are going to yarn over through that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 2. Yarn over into that same chain, yarn over, pull through 2 again. So we have 3 now. Yarn over, pull through 2. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over through that same chain. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5, cut it off, pull through that last loop, tighten it up a little bit, and there's his second arm. Now it's pretty simple to attach, same way we did the ears basically. So we're just going to kind of line it up with the ears, go through here, pull out there, pull your yarn through. Now I'm just going to do that reverse. So where I popped out last time, I'm putting my crochet hook in there, popping it out where I went in the first time, pulling it through there. So we basically have 2 pieces of yarn here. We can make it into a knot. And there's one arm. Quite large, but he's got a big arm. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can do the arms however you like. If you don't like this way, then you can do a smaller bobble stitch with maybe just 3. I did 5. That's how I normally do. Today it looks really, really big. Normally they look about average size, but whatever works for you. It's your Baby Yoda. And they're all unique and cute. Same thing. Pull them both through. Tie it in a knot. And there's your Baby Yoda. You're going to pull in the threads and cut them off. There we go. One more to go. Same thing. Cut it. Pull it. Cut it. Pull it. Cut it. Tuck it in. There we go. And there's our Baby Yoda. And there's our Baby Yoda. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience, as this was my first crochet tutorial. I'm sure I did many things wrong. If there's things that people want to comment on and help me with, that's greatly appreciated. I won't take any offense to it whatsoever. Again, I said I'm new at crochet, so any help is great. And if you have any questions, if I'm able to help you out, by all means, leave a question in the comment box and I'll see if I can help you out. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this tutorial, what I can do to improve them. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.